Hello, my friends. If you're here, it's because you want to know whether Scorpio and Cancer are the best, most appropriate people to be together. This was a really big question that I got in the comments when I made the Pisces and Scorpio soulmate video. People were just like, Denise, what about Cancer? And I'm just like, do you think I didn't consider Cancer? Because I did. So that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. If you don't know me, if this is the first time you're seeing my face, my name is Denise. I am your local friendly astrologer, and I like to make videos to help people incorporate astrology into their everyday life, to actually make it useful and help you get more out of your chart in a way that is practical. So that's what we're doing in today's video. We're trying to see what traits in Scorpio really work well with Cancer and which ones don't. First, we're going to start with the really good stuff because there's a lot of good stuff. Oh yeah, so if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button because I put out videos every single week on Scorpios, Cancers, on love, on astrology, and I recommend it. I highly recommend my channel. So yeah, when we're talking about Scorpio and Cancer, we are talking about two water signs. As a lot of people said, hey, the water signs get along really well. So yes, we're talking about two water signs, and one of them is ruled by the moon, so a very gut emotional center, the moon, and the other one is ruled by Mars and Pluto. So again, very passionate and very works from the gut. But the main difference between those two signs is that Cancer is quick and Scorpio is very slow. Scorpio takes their time to process. They might process fast, but they're not going to spit something out of their mouth very fast because everything that a Scorpio says has been plotted out in their mind for what's going to actually happen. They're thinking about consequences. They're thinking about reasoning. They're thinking about every possible angle you could have because Scorpio is like a master, and Scorpio wants to know everything before they've actually taken a step because they are very careful, okay? They're a cautious sign. And Cancer is a very emotional sign. Cancer works very fast. Cancer knows very fast if they're in love. Cancer knows very fast if they like somebody. Cancer knows very fast what they want out of a relationship, etc. So that's the main difference between the two. But what is good about them? Why do they work really well together? Well, the reason why Cancer and Scorpio work really well together is because Cancer is a very nurturing, mothering, loving sign. Cancers naturally want to respond to the needs of others. Cancers think of like a nurse in the battlefield. I always think of nurses in the battlefield when I think of Cancer because to them, the world is a harsh place and they really don't like people to be injured. So they go around the world looking for people to heal. That is Cancer. Whereas Pisces, Pisces doesn't necessarily want to heal people. They can because they have a transformative love, just like Scorpio can. But Cancer really does want to go out there into the world and heal people. Look for those who have been injured I just messed up my nail polish. They want to look for people who have been hurt in order to mend their wounds. That is Cancer's nature. And Scorpio is a wounded sign. Scorpios go through a lot of transformations, and the way that they transform is really through all of the pain that they go through, all of the difficult situations that they go through. If you're talking about the moon, these are more internal, these are more psychological things that they've gone through. If you're talking about the sun, Scorpio sun, people do actually tend to put themselves in harm's way very often. Scorpio rising people, it's also more psychological, more internal. It's the way that they see the world, and the way that Scorpio rising sees the world is dark because they've experienced things that lead them to believe that the world is dark. They can't see the world through rose-colored glasses because they've had a hard upbringing when they were little that caused them to see the world as a difficult, gloomy place that is dangerous, where people want to mess with you and hurt you. That's how Scorpio rising sees the world. And Scorpio suns, Scorpio Mars, especially the sun, more so the sun, they get themselves into dangerous situations because they're here to experience life at its fullest, at the most passionate, intense, dangerous level that you can get without actually dying. Okay, that's how Scorpio is. They want to just flirt with death a little bit because themes of death are very prevalent in their life. That is, Pluto, death, the 8th house. So that is very common to Scorpios. And Cancers, again, as I said, they look for people who are wounded in order to mend their wounds and heal them. Cancer really believes that they could heal people with their love. That is how Cancer feels. And why is it that they want to do that? It's not entirely selfless. Cancer derives a lot of their self-esteem from their role. So it's like Cancer feels that if they can heal somebody, if they can be close to somebody, if they can make somebody feel better, it makes them feel better. It's very mutual and very like synergistic, I guess you could say it, for Cancers. So it's not, they're not just doing it for nothing. They're doing it in order to heal themselves at the same time. It almost heals them. Cancer, it heals them to heal other people also, because it makes them feel good. Why did I hit myself? And also, when they do something for you, Cancers, remember, Cancer is associated with family, and they want their bond with other people to be as close as family. And whenever they do something for you, whenever they do something for the person that they love, when they do something for Scorpio, they want Scorpio to feel special and to feel loved and to feel more bonded to them. And generally that does happen because Scorpio, one of the most important, I wouldn't say the most important, passion is probably the most important thing. Probably it's a tie. They really want loyalty. Scorpio really cares about loyalty. And think about how loyal you are to your family. Essentially, you want to be loyal to your family, especially if you're a Cancer, you're very loyal to your family. Family means a lot to you. And as Nina has said, I've also noticed this with Cancers, it doesn't necessarily have to be like your family by blood. Maybe you're not fortunate enough to have a lot of family by blood, but the people that you're close to, they are your family to you, Cancer. And it's almost like you take on a parental role with the people that you care about. And Scorpio really values loyalty, and they notice loyalty in other people. So they notice this loyalty that Cancer has, and they really also appreciate the fact that Cancer will fight for them. Cancer will fight anyone who goes against Scorpio, and Scorpio gets a kick out of this because Scorpio can defend themselves, but the fact that their little Cancer is gonna go out there and fight for them, they really like that because it shows loyalty. They really appreciate that. And so also, one of the big things that Scorpio wants to do is accomplish the deepest level of intimacy. And Cancer is all about that intimacy. People don't realize the things that Cancer does and how intimate they are. Cancer, whenever they do something for you, let's just say they bring you a blanket when you're cold. They bring you a sweater when you're cold. They bring you a meal. I don't want to be stereotypical and say they bring you a meal. But when they do that for you, they're giving you a part of their heart. And it is so intimate to exchange things with a Cancer. It's like a mother feeding her child. And I always think about this, and people maybe think it's weird, but the archetype of the mother is connected to her baby, like the mother is a mother because she has a child, and their bond is unbreakable and it's unchangeable, and it's the closest bond you could have. You live inside of your mom. And Cancer wants to accomplish that level of closeness with everyone that they love. They want to feel what you feel. They want to know exactly what you need at every moment, how you're thinking, what you're going through. They want to know you really well. That's how Cancer is. I don't want this video to get too long. It's already 9 minutes. And Scorpio also really appreciates very close intimacy. And so it's very easy for them to be intimate with one another and trust one another and get very extremely close because they both want that. They want that closeness. Cancer wants somebody to depend on, and they want others to depend on them. And Cancer can be a little bit needy. And for anybody else, I would be like, don't, Cancer, just hide it. Don't be so needy. They're gonna run away. But Scorpio doesn't mind. Scorpio doesn't mind the neediness. Scorpio's like, let me have it. Come on, I love you. How much do you love me? How much do you need me? Yes, tell me more. Tell me how much you need me. And Cancer's like, I need you so much. And Scorpio's like, yes, tell me how much you need me. That's like a reenactment of Scorpio being told that they are needed. And it's like mutual. But where is the downside? What do you have to be warned about? What do you have to think about when you are a Cancer or a Scorpio in a Cancer-Scorpio relationship? The important thing to remember is that you both have pinchers. Scorpio takes a while to strike because they're very they want to remain in control of their emotions. They almost think it's beneath them to respond quickly. They don't want to be hysterical, right? But Cancer can shoot from the hip, because Cancer, when they're hurt, it is cardinal water. So it is very fast. Cardinal signs are quick. They are about quick movement, about starting things. They're like, it's kind of like fiery in a sense, in that sense. So Cancer, when they're injured, before it's even out of your mouth, they're already like kapow. So what Cancer needs to keep in mind is to learn to curb their reactions, or to maybe, I have a Cancer moon friend. I have several Cancer moon friends. I've had like 6 or 7 best friends with Cancer moon. I don't know what it is. I don't have any water in my chart aside from that Scorpio and Venus, but they've all been very sweet to me. I've actually never fought with any of them. No one's ever told me anything mean, but I've seen them throw their tantrums. And what one of them has learned, she has more earth in her chart, but what she has learned is that sometimes her emotional reactions end up making a problem bigger, Cancer. Sometimes you can make a small problem bigger by having an emotional overreaction. So what you could do is either you could learn to calm yourself, or to kind of take a step back and go through your logical, like, hey, like, what is going on here? Or you can have a very earthy or fiery or airy friend to calm you down. And that is me in this scenario. She will text me and be like, hey, can you translate this for me? Can you uncancer this situation? And I will give her the logical points, and she's a logical person. So she's like, oh, okay. So you just have to take a step back from your emotions, Cancer, before you actually strike your Scorpio, because the Scorpio is very easily injured. And remember that Scorpio thinks that the world is harsh and that people want to hurt you, and they want to protect themselves. They're very protective of their heart. So why would you want to hurt them and injure them? Like, you don't want to do that. So that's the only downside, or the only thing that I would say to look out for between a Scorpio and a Cancer. Make sure that you don't get into arguments where you say mean things to each other. Cancer can have a tendency, Cancers can just say something mean and they don't even mean it. It was just like a defense mechanism, but they'll say some really mean shit. Because Cancer knows people on a very deep level, and not in a Scorpio way, but Cancer knows your insecurities because they deal a lot with insecurities. So they know people's insecurities. So if it's like during a fight and you make fun of somebody's insecurities, or you call them out on their insecurities, oof, like that would crush me to death. I could never come back from that. Scorpio might be a little more hardy than I am and maybe could come back from that, but they'll be hurt by it. So don't do that. Don't hurt each other. That's the only thing that I would say. Love each other, because you definitely have the capability of having a very intense, intimate bond of, you know, Cancer loving on you and healing all the past trauma that you've been through, Scorpio, and being very responsive to your needs. And you guys have a lot of intuitive communication. You don't even have to speak. You can just kind of like look at each other and you know what's going on. You could also be on the same team and gang up on people who are mean to you or who don't like you. And it's kind of like us against the world sort of thing, because Cancer, again, also thinks the world is really harsh. Scorpio thinks the world is dangerous and people are trying to take advantage of you. And Cancer's just like, man, everyone's so mean. So together you can make a really good team. But as I said, be careful and don't hurt each other, especially with words. Don't say things that you don't mean in the heat of the moment. Learn to take a step back, and that way your relationship will last longer. So that's all I have to say. I think that Scorpio and Cancer are pretty good. So that's it. If you like the video, don't forget to hit that like button for good luck, and I'll see you in the next one.